What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Ferris. We got the stream going live here. It's about 9:30 in the morning. Want to talk over my swings. Bitcoin, I know I haven't streamed in a while. It's just because I was just busy doing some work. And I told you guys I closed my trade because I closed it right here when I had this little rally because I knew Bitcoin would have a little bearish rally and then continue to go forward to go down after a few days of rally momentum. More so a bear trap or a bull trap, excuse me. So we're going to discuss that, and we're going to discuss my swings on some stocks that I was looking at. What's up, guys? So I want to go over that. Hope you guys are having a great day. What's up? What's up? So we're going to talk about Bitcoin in this bear trap here. We're going to talk about it. So I've been tracking it, and it's kind of just following this line, at least resistance falling. And we're going to go to a different chart just so it's not all messy. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, I was just pointing out the tops here, higher, lower highs, all these green arrows right here, point to the lower highs, and then we make another one. We make another lower high right here. Okay, and that's setting in a lower high. Now it's already engulfing in a day. It's already engulfing this candle, and the day is not even over yet. The day closes in about 7 hours and 30 minutes. So if you have a long position, I don't know why I didn't close it on the fail break of 7,800. I mean, it got rejected there, right there at that pivot point that I like to discuss. Where it comes up, tries to retrace these pivot points right here. The market structure is like some people like to call it, is where it has market structure, and it failed to break this, which is a former support. If we can, if we track it right here, you can see that former support failed to break it, and it's continuing lower, and it sold off very quickly, $300, really fast. The MACD is showing signs of a bullish divergence, but I think it's a fake out. You can see it's already curling over on the daily, and it looks like it's going to come back down, signaling another bull trap. This is a bull trap. Bulls were going along here thinking it was a higher low, as you guys can see right here. I'll point it with an arrow here. You can see right here. Let me just extend that. Right there, we have a higher low. So if we squeeze that together, all these green arrows right here on the top are pointing to higher highs or lower highs right here, lower high, lower high consecutively, 6 in a row, and 3 lower lows somewhat. It's just kind of a fake out. But you can see, I mean, it's failing to even extend off. There's no volume. This is on Coinbase too, which is one of the largest exchanges. No volume, no one's buying, so it's more so a bull trap, and that's what we can go off by. Just based by the volume, it's really low compared to even this last dip buy where there's a ton of volume. We could see that on the hourly too. Mostly selling pressure, no volume. So we're seeing that reflect over other cryptocurrencies. It was a nice little run on some cryptos. But again, it's signaling that bubble pattern. As always, these bubbles don't end right away. Some people are just saying, oh, the bubble's over. I mean, the bubbles still got a long way to retrace. I'm thinking to 4K right here around this support, 3,500 to 4K is where we're going to go down to and probably retest the negative 1,000 mark on the divergence on the MACD. So that's where I think it's going to go. I just wanted to discuss that. I'm not ending the stream here, but I wanted to show you guys that, it did have a little fake out here for the bulls, and they thought this was a good dip buy. Obviously, it wasn't, failed, and it's continuing lower, and it's already engulfing the previous 2 days of gains. So it's showing that the bears are stronger than the bulls. That's what you should get out of that. Okay? And if we continue here along to another popular crypto, Ethereum, which is the one I love to short, it's already engulfed the daily candle. So the crazy thing is it had Ethereum. I love shorting Ethereum simply because it's volatile. It's more volatile than Bitcoin. It's cheaper to short, and I think it's more overpriced because people are so crazed on these smart contracts. Ethereum's a good blockchain. It has a lot going for it, but Ethereum, the coin itself, not too great. And I think there's going to be a coin to replace it. Again, highlighted in this box, lack of volume that's consistent to what it was in the bubble. As you can see, selling off, no buying at all. Just weak volume, probably price manipulation. Wait, what time? Buy more. I would wait, man. I mean, you could see if you bought more, you should have been selling here. If you're holding, you're getting steamrolled right now. I mean, you just lost $40 in less than 12 hours. So I think you guys, if you guys want to go long, be patient. Don't force it on the market. Do not force anything on the market. I can tell you that from experience going short. As you guys know, I closed right here, but I tried shorting it here and here, and I took some L's. But unfortunately, I lost like $100, but I don't trade with a lot of money compared to how much I have goals to make. I usually average about 10 times my returns when a good short goes my way. So it's good, and I take small, minimal risks. But again, be patient. Cryptocurrency, is very volatile. It's manipulated. Regardless of what you want to think, people do manipulate it, and you got a long way to go. You could see on Ethereum, it was even a clear rejection hit. What's up, Bullable guy? You can see Ethereum was just a clear rejection. You could see it just got rejected very hard right here from 620. Even went on here on Kraken to 637. But if we can look on my MetaTrader, we only got to 624. I took some shorts pretty late here. I got shorts here at, because I was working actually. Got shorts here at 604, 3 Ethereum, and then two more Ethereum here at 593 and 591. If it does rally back to 600 or even 590, I'll add more. What's up? I know, man. I was taking a little break. I was working, so I really don't think it's gonna really push up here anymore, because I mean, why would you be buying this fake out right here? I mean, tell me why you would be buying. I know, man. I wanted to let him talk. I know. I wanted to let him talk, man. I wanted to let him talk. These rallies they're crazy, because crypto rallies like insane. I mean, there's no asset in the world that rallies 100 points and you consider it still bearish. I mean, you got to think, is this guy crazy? It just rallied 100 points, but that's the beautiful thing about trading crypto. It's so volatile, and these times will not last. I guarantee it. So you trade it while you have it. And you can see I'm already up $79, and I took all these shorts today. So I'm excited to see where it's going to go. I do Pyramid. As you can see, the times are a little bit different here, 3 hours apart. I wish I had it up at 617. I just wasn't around, so I missed that nice the dump. But if it does try to retest 600, I'm shorting there. I think this dump is going to make new lows, man. I do. Failed rejection at the market structure right there, which is where it failed. And a strong rejection is showing lower lows, and I think we're going to come down to this level right here. I'll highlight it for you guys here. As you can see, again, Ethereum showing the same type of, this is on a logarithmic scale, so it does show it a little crazier, and you can see Ethereum still got a ways to go. But we'll go back to, a regular linear scale. And you can see Ethereum has a ways to go. I mean, a bearish engulfing, and we'll show you guys bearish engulfing. I'm going to show you what a bearish engulfing is, because I like to show you guys what it means. So a bearish engulfing pattern is simply thus. Bearish engulfing. Close of day one, open of day one is a bullish candle. So we can see very similar to what we have here on Ethereum. Okay, right there. Very, very similar. You can see, here's the candle. I'll zoom in on it, make it big. This is Ethereum. Again, we're reflecting on the bearish engulfing. This is a pattern right here. I hope you guys could see this. And bears rejected the gap up. You can see it tried to gap up here. It gets rejected and closes below. Now, we still have 7 hours left in the day, 7 hours 25 minutes. Again, you got to understand, it trades on UTC time, which is Universal time, which is London time. And if we do break back up, then it's not going to be an engulfing candle, but right now it's engulfing, which is very negative, and it's going to show continued lower lows, and that's signaling potential lower lows below this low right here, which is, more so we're going to 400. So a short here, I mean, you're still netting 200 points, which is amazing. That's why I suggest JAFX. And you can see rallies are weak, and that's why I like Ethereum, because, Bitcoin, really profit margin $600, but you got to invest a lot of money into it. Ethereum, not so much. With JAFX, I got $100 in here, $90, and I'm already up to 174, so almost doubled my money. I put a long at 75.35. I mean, you gotta ask yourself, and when do you think it's going to break down? I mean, 7,500. If it fails to hold that level, there's no good chance here. The hourly looks a bit oversold. I mean, the hourly is a bit oversold because, I mean, it ran, I mean, here, and it's showing the bears are taking back what they want. The daily is actually showing a failed rejection. You could see it kind of showed a bullish sign right here where the MACD was crossing back over, but honestly, it was a fake out. You can see already the daily is already kind of curving over here. And on the 4-hour or on the weekly is just showing a straight rejection. Just a straight rejection here on the MACD, which is the moving average convergence divergence. That's what it means. And that's the 12 and 26, the ones that I always recommend, 12 and 26 EMA, which is what the bots trade off of. And they're diverging from each other, so it's going to signal lower lows. And again, I got to go to a different chart here because this one's all clogged up. So excuse my chart here. So you can see here, failed rally here, engulfing candle. If we engulf here on the weekly, we're going to get a failed rally, very similar to what we had here. And on the daily, pointing to the same thing. Every time Bitcoin does engulf a previous green candle, so when it did it here, it makes new lows. When it does it here, it makes new lows. When it did it right here, it makes new lows. So similar pattern. I mean, that's the pattern there. Engulfing, new lows, engulfing, new lows, engulfing, new lows, engulfing here, new lows, engulfing here, new lows. So you get the trend. It's a very simple trend. And it's just a bull trap. And what did we compare this to a while ago, okay? I want to really point that out here. The internet bubble, okay? Again, I'll keep reiterating this. I reiterate this point over and over and over, how similar it is to the dot-com bubble. And you can see on this chart, I mean, the Bitcoin boom, this was before, but this was the dot-com bubble. And I'm going to get a large picture for you guys, so I know it might be a little blurry. I'm not too sure how the views on the stream, but you can see the dot-com bubble had a few fake outs here. And it's very, very similar to what we're getting here. I mean, very similar. And we could even do a line chart here to even compare it, almost dot for dot. You could see very similar, trap right there where we just run up here, and we'll do on the weekly because it even shows it, in a better perspective. Literally, nearly the same. Nearly the same. You get the rejection, bull trap, collapse, pop, the bubble pops. You get a pump up here, which is like, this little pump. There's actually a little pump here. Drops down. You get this little up rally here. And then we go down. Or you could say this was the little rally right here. So if we zoom in, right there. You can see that rally right there is very similar to this rally. Another rally here, very similar to this rally. And then you drop down, making new lows, probably coming here to the $5,000 support or the $3,500. It's just all going to depend. But again, very, very, very similar to the dot-com bubble. I'm not trying to prove a point. Actually trying to prove a point here, but I'm not trying to, discourage any longs. It's just, what the facts are telling me. And you can see it's very similar to the dot-com bubble. I mean, look, it's like Microsoft right here. You can see Microsoft had that failed rally in 2000. Okay, hard drop, and you can see similar type of price action here. Okay, very similar type of price action. I think this is on the weekly chart. Yeah, so you get that bounce, another rally, bounce, and then drops further down, and you can see how it just continued to, falter out. So very similar to that. I just wanted to kind of, demonstrate that point. If anyone has some questions, feel free to shoot them at me. I just really wanted to explain what I'm seeing and what's really going on with cryptocurrency, because there's opportunity. Regardless, if you don't like going short, don't go short. Just close your longs. I was actually long on my Binance with some referral money, which, unfortunately I make that, which is great. And I was long on XRP, and XRP had a great, great day here, and we could show you here. Oh, wrong account. So if we go to XRP here, XRP had a beautiful rally. I am not going to lie, and I'm very, no problem, man, no problem. I'm trying. XRP, this is why I like XRP, because XRP outshined most of the other cryptocurrencies. I mean, the gains here were phenomenal. 55 cents all the way to 70 cents was a great, great gain. I mean, what's the math on that? I can't do it on the top of my head. I'm not a whiz in math, but by 70 cents, wrong way. Divided by 0.5. No, I had it the right way. So 0.5 divided by 0.7, 71, about 29% gain. You got there. So 29% gain on Ripple, and then you could have shorted it, and it was very, very effective. Again, I don't short Ripple because it's too low for me. I like these dollar ones like Ethereum because they're very high quality. You can see Ethereum, another engulfing candle. Doji engulfing, going lower. EOS, I mean, they just had this release, and this was the hyped one. This one's actually kind of holding here, so this might have investment opportunity in all reality. Again, EOS just launched their blockchain, and EOS is in a price level where it's affordable, it's not overextended, but EOS did have a good short and a long opportunity. You could have longed this into the second little bubble phase, we'll call it. Phase, we had the phase huge 1, we had the phase 2, which was the rally in February, and then phase 3, EOS, was the big gainer, and there's nothing wrong with going long on EOS. I'm not discouraging that. I go long, I go short. EOS, ran from $5 to 21, crazy gains, 400%, and then a nice short from 18 to 12, which is another about what, 80% around there. I can't really do the math. Volatility market, look at how much it's dropped, where it's not getting the same variations in price. Yeah, so Oliver, we'll discuss that. That's actually a good sign. That means things were going for the one last drop, the final, decay. That's what it's pointing to. It's showing people are unwilling to buy. And I'm going to show you guys how I really, research that. And something that's a great tool. I know other YouTubers talk about it. The good ones do, the bad ones don't. So you can see, failed rally, volumes, crap. Now we go to the Google Trends. And this basically explains the volatility. If you go to Google Trends, it's a free platform to use. I actually use it. I don't see EOS at $4, maybe like $8. But right now with their airdrop, it could be very good. So if we just type in Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin, I mean, the last 12 months, we'll even go to the last 90 days. We had a very, we won't do the last, we'll do the last 12 months. So, if we look at this data here, it's very similar to the Bitcoin chart. I mean, if not, nearly the same. I mean, people have short interests, you can see right here, we have a run, this run into November 19th, we get this crazy rally. It spikes right here in interest, okay, and then right here, we have the tops. It peaks out on the 23rd, which is literally the top, like almost perfectly. It peaks out, and you could have gotten short there, and then it has a little peak right here. And when was this peak? The 14th. The peak was around right here, the 14th, and then we get another peak here around February 4th, which is when it collapsed here, and then it bounced back up, and then it's kind of been dead as of late. And if we look back on a custom time range here, we'll just start it off. I'm sure it's gonna spike here. Just give me a second. We'll do January 1st to today's date. We're gonna see like an increase in volume. So we see this January 16th, a spike. February, we get a little spike here, which is coincidentally the same day we get the spike here, and then we probably have little micro spikes here into May, and then it dies out in interest over time. And you could search other cryptocurrencies like EOS. I mean, watch EOS. You see how it pumped up here. EOS had a huge rally into when its price gained. You can see that right there. So Google Trends is a great way to look at what your traders are looking at. So, oh, sure, Jordan. Okay. Anyway, but basically that's really it. Google Trends is a good thing to figure out how you can, identify trends in the marketplace, and it's just as simple as Google. But again, we got this bearish engulfing candle here. It's reflected on every single cryptocurrency. I'm sure Jordan's long, but doesn't want to admit it. Can't show his account. That's fine. But you can see here we got a bear flag. A bearish engulfing candle. Moving lower. Again, I was talking about it right here. We go low. I knew there would be a little bullish rally, and then boom, crash down here. And Ethereum, same story. Ethereum a little bit worse. That's why I like to short it. Already engulfing, already being bearish. MACD crossover, convergence, divergence, that's what it means. Getting rejected here off the orange line. Okay, and usually the orange line is, which is the 26 EMA. So it's the long-term EMA. It's getting rejected off that, which is showing a more bearish sign. So continuing to that, yeah, I'm sure he did. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm not a person who fights sides. I went long in the cryptocurrency bubble. You can go back and watch my videos, and I'm going short. I'm just there to make money. Okay, you can see my trades right here printed out in front of you. I'm looking to add more. Maybe I might add more at 580 just because of the lack of bounce. I mean, there's not even a good bounce here. Like, if you're a bull, why are you holding? I mean, we're testing this trend line here. If this breaks right here, we're going to new lows. There's no support. It's going to confirm another bear flag, and it's going to confirm the same chart pattern. I mean, we have it here, reflected here, okay, and reflected here. The same type of pattern is going on right here, okay? Boom, and boom, okay, right there. And I have it kind of highlighted, and then here's the little resistance. I know it's a lot of lines. It might be a little overwhelming, but there's, you know, the kind of the temporary support. This is the resistance. This is kind of the line of least resistance is what I like to call it. Right here, line of least resistance, where, you know, it constantly tries to pass, but it can't. And then it's going to break down. I mean, there's just no volume. There's just no volume. And volume is the amount of people trading and the amount of people who are going to buy your crypto at a higher price, and no one's buying it. So why are you going long? Don't fall in love with it. You know, don't fall in love with cryptocurrency. It's just a cryptocurrency. That's it. If it's not going to love you back, why are you loving it? You know, so just understand that. Don't put emotions towards a trade. I know it's hard. I've done it myself, but I mean, it's just failing. It can't hold, and it's proving the bubble to be very true. This is a classic bubble pattern, and that's why I suggested the books I suggest, so you can be able to educate yourself. You know, you might not be perfect. I'm not perfect. I can't time these all the time, but I still profit. You know, as of my shorts, and this is just real money right here. You can see I'm down 85 in the last month, just because of ups and downs on trades. But I did make all my money back. In the last 3 months, I mean, we'll go here and we'll reflect it, because I don't like talking about cryptocurrency and not showing proof. Open this account here in March, and overall $4,588 of profits with withdrawals and, you know, taking out money, but total $4,588. Total profit with withdrawals and deposits, because I move money in and out. But yeah, that's total profit right there, and you can't manipulate that at all. So that's really it, guys. I wanted to show that. If you guys have some questions, shoot them towards me. I'm here to stream as long as I want. But that's Bitcoin. We can go over stocks in a second here, but you can see the line chart showing a bull trap as well. You know, failed rally there, and it looks like we're gonna break down lower to probably 3,500, which is where I'd probably be buying there towards, you know, October, or when a bank releases their cryptocurrencies. I mean, MasterCard is already hinting at a cryptocurrency, so why not go with MasterCard's crypto instead of Bitcoin? You know, something that's going to offer you more utility. Or Ripple. Ripple's the one I see the most utility out of, in all honesty. And that's why it rallied so much, because it's cheap and people can afford it. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys have some questions, shoot them towards me. I'm all ears. If not, we can go on to stocks. So Bitcoin's not following the same pattern. It's very simple. It's volume. So you want to have a trading system regardless, and we're going to go to a clean chart here. I don't want to get fogged up with all my numbers here. So we'll go to Binance. You know, Binance is the biggest exchange, I think. So we'll go Binance Tether. You can see, I mean, Binance has a little more volume, but you know, there's just no volume. You can see here we had extreme volume here, extreme volume spread out across, and Binance has most of the volume. Now, there's more volume on Binance trading out of Bitcoin into Tether than there is on, than there is on Coinbase or something like that. But you can see we're still declining in volume. Thanks, man. I really do appreciate that. You can see we're still declining in volume. I mean, this dip buy right here, insane amount of volume right here. We can highlight that right there. You see that? You see that huge buying volume? BNB long term, not bad choice. You know, I wait for the market to settle down, Alex, but it's been holding really well. And then here, not a lot of buying volume, more selling volume. I mean, look at here, we got some buying volume, but again, don't get twisted that when it goes green here, even on a green day, sellers are still selling. We had a big spike here in volume, huge sell, more than the buying here, okay, and then more selling, and then very little buying here. And you can see that on the hourly chart. Not so much buying. Just Binance kind of holding it up. If we go to Bitstamp, not really that much buying here. We go to Coinbase, not so much buying. Coinbase, not so much buying here. And this is just U.S. dollars. So you got to understand, Finn, you got to hear me out here. You got to understand, if there's no one willing to buy your Bitcoin for the price that at that level, and that's what volume is reflecting, it's not going to go up. There's no new people to come into the market and buy it from you. So it's just going to be the holders and the shorts and people who are just playing it to gamble and actual traders. If no one's willing to buy it from them, they're going to start to sell. And that's, the first people to start to sell are the traders. The second people to start to sell are probably the hodlers and the investors. And the third people are the gamblers and the speculators. It goes speculators, then gamblers. So then it continues just a complete downfall. Shorts are leading the way, and that's how bears, take over a market. It's a kind of simple process. I'm not trying to be rude when I say that, but you got to understand that. And if you have a trading system in place, you were able to execute on this, right on the sell-off. And I was predicting, possibly in my back of my head that maybe this week it'll, show a little bull trap here, green week, and do something similar to this. So we might get new lows, and that will be good. But I don't try to predict. I try to anticipate and use probabilities in my favor. Again, market structure was right there, where it had a failed rally and dropped lower. So again, usually it retraces that market structure area. It did it again. Did it on Ethereum as well, which was a little more evident. Okay, and you got a great short off. I mean, Ethereum bounced from $512, almost $500, and went up to $640. I mean, that's a crazy long and a crazy short. So it's a great opportunity either way. And Finn, I can't advise you on that. You gotta take the decision on yourself. Yeah, I mean, it could follow the bearish wedge. Again, I probably play probabilities, and the probabilities are more so going bearish than bullish. Like I've been saying, we had a little bear rally here, and we're probably going to continue lower, which is what we expect here. And this time, this low is going to definitely fall out because the buying volume is just exhausted. It's exhausted. No one's willing to buy. I mean, if this didn't make a new high, why would you keep buying if it's down here again? You won't buy at 500. So this time we can expect it to break 500, and more so go to 400. When the volume isn't there, volume is the people trading in and out of contracts, in and out of Bitcoin, which is going to increase volatility. The volatility is dying. It's not making Bitcoin a lucrative, return on investment. So why are you buying? Let it come down where there are buyers, and then you'll see the volume increase. So more so, we can analyze this even on Ethereum. We're probably going to see more buyers in this level around 200, or even in the level of 100 if we get there. I think Ethereum has a ways to go. It had this crazy drop, and this was just an indicator for further drop, where it dropped from 800 all the way down to 4, with no rally, really no rally at all. And then here it got a little stronger here because the Reddit founder is like, Ethereum to 1500, my ass. Anyway, and I think people are just going to continue to sell out, and it'll drop, probably level out at 280, and then maybe take another dip down to 200 to 100, and then start to stable out. Which is where Bitcoin was around 3,500. So I'd see Ethereum around $200, $100 roughly, because these are again still multi-billion-dollar companies, and I really want to point out that fact. We got to compare them to companies that have been in the stock market that are actually adding value, and this is a good comparison. It's not a stock. I get it. It's a cryptocurrency, but it's not being used as a cryptocurrency. It's being used as a paper asset. So. That's why I'm going to directly reflect it and relate it to stocks. If we look at Netflix, okay, Netflix, everyone uses Netflix. You buy it, you're watching your favorite movies. Netflix is worth 157 billion. Bitcoin just lost that value. It's 128 billion. But again, you'll see, Netflix worth more than Ethereum or Bitcoin because it adds utility and value. Tesla is worth 50 billion. So Ethereum is technically worth more than Tesla. And Tesla makes cars. Yes, they're in debt. They're not making any profits, but again, they're making cars, something that people are buying and using and willing to reinvest in. A hot technology, electric cars, self-driving, yada yada. You get the point. What is Ethereum adding? Smart contracts, all this. Yes, that's valuable, but again, someone can make a token on their platform worth more than the Ethereum token itself. So you guys got to understand that even though you can build on the Ethereum blockchain, it doesn't necessarily mean Ethereum is going to be more expensive than a token on its platform that utilizes their system better, if that makes sense. Because the network's awesome, but if it's not effective as EOS or some new coin using the Ethereum smart contract system and is running on their contract basis, it's not going to be worth as much, maybe over time, but $584, $50 billion company, what is it returning back to the consumer? And what is it giving you? It's just giving you US dollar. That's the main point I'm trying to get. People are trading these like assets that are volatile. That's the only reason it attracted so much attention, because you can make a lot of US dollar, euro, British pound, you name it, and that's really it. So that's what I'm trying to prove here. It's a very simple concept. The volume is dying. It's not what it was. Ethereum and Bitcoin are the only ones trading at $1 billion. The rest are under it. We got EOS above $1 billion, so EOS definitely a strong one. The rest, under $1 billion. You got Tether with $2 billion. So Tether. Let's do a great point here. I didn't even look at this honestly, but let's do a study here on historical data. When Bitcoin had huge crashes here. So let's reflect back to the day Bitcoin dropped. So we'll go to December 19th. Year to date, we'll do December 19th. Okay, we're going to do a little study here. Okay, and we're going to look back December 19th, 2019. We'll do December 31st. Which is when it rallied right here into 2018. So we'll do January 5th. Let's see how Tether reflected, Bitcoin's gains. Okay, so we're going to compare these two charts, or compare the volume. So we can see here, Bitcoin started to crash here on the 17th. So if you look back on the 17th of December, you can see right here, volume's roughly low. Okay, volume's going to be depicted right here. Volume's low. Volume starts to increase right here on the 11th. Go from 1.5 billion to 2 billion to 2.2 to 2.3 to 2 billion, 1.5, 1.9, and then 2.5, 3 billion, 3.7 billion, 3.1, 4.6 billion, 2.253. So you can see people are trading in and out. The increase in volume and then the decrease in volume is directly reflective with what people are doing with their cryptocurrency. And this is just Tether. You don't know if people were going into Ripple because Ripple is gaining at this time, or any other currency. And now if we look back here in the last 3 months where we've had more bearish action across the whole market, this is going to start back and reflect in March. So that's crazy. 3 months ago. We'll go to January. Time's flying, guys. January to present date. So we'll go here. We can even see here when it had this fat crash here at the end of January on the 27th, you could see increasing Tether loads right here on the 18th, right here. And I don't even know how I didn't look at this. We have you go from 2 billion, 3 billion, 3.8 billion. This is direct market reflection. This is true data. 3.8 billion, and we go to 5, 5.5, 5.54, and then we start, going lower and lower as people are just taking their money out. They're just buying back into Bitcoin, selling it on GDAX or wherever, and going back to fiat. Again, we go all out right here. Watch this, the 5th. So if we look at the 5th, We're going to be at 4 billion and then $6 billion on the 6th. So everyone out here, record high right here, $6 billion in volume into Tether, and then direct right out of Tether. You know, cut by half in nearly a day because everyone's out of Bitcoin. And you can see this is direct reflection of the emotions. People are just selling out here and going straight into Tether right on the last day right here on February 5th. Okay, and then jump out of Tether, go back into Bitcoin. It goes back to 2 billion, and then we rally here, and then let's go back to March 5th. Okay, and sorry for being repetitive. Go to 2 billion again. We go back up to 3 billion, and then we keep going higher. As you can see, the Tether volume is lower, showing that less people are actually trading in the market. And then you can see we're just trading. We go 4 billion right here on May 7th, you know, which is right here, May 7th, which is when we started to drop. That indicates potential reversal when a lot of people are in Tether. And then again, we keep falling down, and you know the volume just keeps decreasing because less people are trading into it. And you can even see it here, right here on the 28th. We had a lot of volume here in Tether. It goes out, and then it's going to start. You can see it's already coming back into Tether. So again, that's just something I wanted to show. Sorry if that was a little repetitive, but you can use Tether to honestly judge what you're going to see and expect in the market, and that's just Tether. Okay, you have people on Coinbase selling their you know, Americans selling their crypto not for Tether. So imagine if you can go straight from Tether to US dollar, it would be crazier. So that's just something you guys need to focus on. Watch the Tether market cap and watch for Bitcoin to start breaking. If it breaks $100 billion, we're going to start to fall, and we'll see alts fall as well. And it will offer a prime opportunity to buy your nice alts, okay? Because I'm not saying any of this technology is worthless. I'm not saying that. But it is overvalued, okay? Because is Ethereum really providing, right now at this current moment, $58 billion of market cap? Is it capitalizing on the marketplace? $58 billion worth of value into society? Not really. I think it's more speculation. Ripple, maybe $25 billion. I think Ripple maybe $10 billion. $5 billion to $10 billion. When Ripple's around 25 to 50 cents, that's where you want to buy on Ripple, or look to buy. I can't advise you on that, but Ripple is a great cryptocurrency because it has use cases. Walmart's using it, Western Union, American Express. I mean, all these big banks are using it. And understand, when people are using Ripple, it creates more volume. And what you want to see volume, okay, coming into cryptocurrency to increase price. That's really all. And you can see they even say hype versus reality in blockchain and crypto is way out of whack. Experiments are not a business model. Ripple is going deep with customers, solving real problems and seeing progress. And that's why I like Ripple. It's to solve the issue of sending money across the world at fast and effective rates for very, very cheap, okay? Understand, it still takes, you know, again, it's the fastest way to send money through a bank right now is flying from New York to London instead of wiring it to them. Isn't that crazy? I mean, we're in 2018, and so Ripple's solving that, and I think that's why it's a multi-billion-dollar company. Ethereum, maybe they're solving an issue with their smart contracts. I got to do more research, but again, I don't think it's worth $58 billion. Bitcoin, the process is really slow. It takes, you know, over 2 hours sometimes to send money, and so it's just not an effective way of sending money in capital. And once you understand that, you can really start to see that Bitcoin is not an effective solution. It was like, you know, the first gun to invent it. It was crazy. It changed the world. Like the first airplane, it was crazy. It changed the world. But we're not still flying in the airplane the Wright brothers flew. We're flying in Boeings. We're flying in Airbuses, 737s, and they continue to innovate, okay? It's like saying we want to fly in a plane in the 50s because it just took off, you know, and it flew from New York to London, but why not fly in a plane that was just built 4 years ago, you know? So I had one more question. Why would the price not dump now if the majority of traders are selling short with this low volatility? It's, again, the low volatility, Finn. You got to understand, a lot of market participants are across the world, and Bitcoin's traded 24/7. It started in Asia. The dump started in Asia, so once Americans start to pick up on it and Europeans, they'll start to dump, and it's usually the big volume that dumps it. So you got to kind of wait for the big guys. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum and cryptocurrency in general is price manipulated. That's why the volume is not excessive, and that's why it's controlled by these guys who are owning it right here, who are dumping on you. because I mean Ethereum was only how much was it right here in 2016? So 2 years ago, Ethereum was only about $7, and it's worth $581. Do the math. That's 83 times their value. So I mean, if you put $7,000 into Ethereum 2 years ago, and you sold it at this level, still, you'd still have $4 million. So understand that the returns on these cryptocurrency assets are still astronomical. I mean, people 2016 were buying it at $7. Okay, here at the low, even at the high, I mean, you're still if you invested here and just held $7,000 worth of cryptocurrency and sold it today at this value, not even about at the high, you're still a multimillionaire. Okay, and again, same thing with BTC, just not as profitable. BTC was more 2012. Yeah, we're dumping very hard right now. You can see. I mean, we're even dumping here. I don't even have time to throw in a short here. I'll probably get one right here over 580. I got 562 margin, so I just threw in another short here at 580. I like to play off round numbers. You can see just even a failed rally. We couldn't even rally. We've rallied to 587, so that was weak. I think we're going to continue to drop lower, and so I just shorted at 580, using my gains and these profits to leverage another position. So if that makes sense, it's really good. It's just proof. People are dumping, and people are are scared, so they're selling. And a crazy, I mean, like, let's be honest here. This is insane. We literally, it takes 2 days to get to this level, okay, and then we sell off in 1 day. That is pure bearish, okay. That's what it means. The bears are winning, and they're still pushing the price down. The bears have the price literally to the bottom of the candle. That's very negative for longs, because it's showing that the buyers are weak, and they're unwilling to support the price here, and are still unwilling to support the price. And again, I know I could have wished, bickered with myself and contemplated, hey, maybe I should have shorted, 0.06 or 0.8 or 10 ether at 600 if I knew it was going to drop. Again, I don't hindsight think. I take probabilities and risks that I can manage and I don't get emotional with when I trade. So again, yeah, I could have taken, right here, this trade right here that highlighted right. We'll go here and we'll zoom in here. You can see it right here where this green line is, where my cursor is. Yeah, I could have gotten 0.06, but my leverage rates would have been pretty high and scary. So I don't take risks that will put me in a negative situation. You can see, again, I still added. I added here at 596.04. I took the majority of my position, 4 coins, and then I added another 3 coins at 593, 592, and 580 to mitigate risk. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I just tried, and I'm showing you my trades. These are my trades. This is active. This is live price. This is real money. I do get paid, and I'm going to show you guys that JAFX does work, because I don't refer people to, brokers that are going to scam you or anything like that, because, I wouldn't want someone to do that to myself, and it's just unethical. So you can see here, I have it. I send it to my GDAX, but obviously I got to go to Coinbase, and they're making GDAX Pro, so which is pretty cool. So I'm going to show you guys, you're going to see my email, even though you guys probably already saw it. Let me just type in some information here. That's my email if you want to send me something. I mean, I don't really care. It's just an email. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys proof in the pudding. Okay. Do your new limits. Cool. I got new limits. I don't care. Too late. Too late to the party. So oh, I got someone just bought cryptocurrency under me. See that? Someone just bought crypto. I think someone just bought crypto. Yeah, Coinbase. So here, someone sent me crypto. Cool. Okay, so anyway, you can see I withdraw with JAFX, and I'm going to show you guys live. I'm not going to actually withdraw because I don't want to withdraw just yet. But you can see I shorted here at 580. That, this contract's still not in the profit yet, because, once this buy price comes down, then it'll be in the profit. And while I was talking, I could have actually shorted there at 586, maybe even 588. But yeah, it's whatever. I'm not going to reflectively think on that. and we'll let it bounce. But I'm just going to let it do its thing. It's going to continue to drop if it breaks this trend line, so I did take a risk here with this one contract, but again, I really don't care. It puts me at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cryptocurrencies short, which if it drops to 480 like I'm predicting, will make me over $700, you know, on top of current gains, so it'd be almost at $1,000 from 100, which is relatively good gains. So I'm waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do here, because if it's going to hold 580, which I think it's going to try to at least bounce here, I might close that position just depending, because my leverage rate, but it's only one coin, so we'll see. Let's go to here. Let me talk about this. Sorry, I'm talking so fast. I just want to show you guys the proof. Regardless, cool, email. You can email me if you want. I don't care. Okay, so let's go right here. You can see I withdrew right here, $88. Okay, and you can see I got, oh, that was the deposit. You could see right here I withdraw right there. Okay, right there, withdrawn to Bitcoin, and that was $140. Again, they don't send you perfectly, but you could see it sent it to me, and then here was the address. Yeah, I don't know how I can show you the proof, but that's what they sent. So that was the money. Again, it works. JAFX is an effective broker. I use it. It's great. If you want to use it, you can use it as well. So I just wanted to show you guys proof. Regardless, I don't like just walking around or manipulating people for no reason. There's no point to that. But yeah, that's proof. JAFX works, and you can short, and that's the best broker. I know BitMEX does it too, but I've never used it, so I don't recommend it. I only recommend things I use. So, but you can see we're already engulfing. When we started this live stream, okay, and we got about how many viewers in here? It's a big stream here. We got 28 people. Thank you for watching. Sorry for the constant rambling, but again, we started the stream and we were here at 580, 590. So thanks. I lost $10. No, I'm kidding. But again, we were right here, and I was saying if we engulf the whole thing, and we're already pushing down lower. And all you need to look is at the daily. This is the most important thing. We're engulfing, and we're continuing to go lower. Yeah, good job. So Finn, if you want to go short, just patiently wait, because we could bounce here. On Ethereum, a potential bounce area could be 590, so I'm watching that. If we break 580, we break 580. If we don't, we don't. But you can see just a straight drop here. And again, on Bitcoin, we're testing that support, which we already broke down. So I think we're going to continue to drop lower. But yeah, that's cryptocurrency for you. I'm short. My leverage rate's 485%. So again, not really risking a whole lot. And I'm good on that, so I can close that out and really don't have to reflect back on that, because that's really all the shorts I want to take. I really don't want to go any lower on a short or chase, because I'd be at risk of getting stopped out on the volatility of crypto. So again, yeah, BTC, Ethereum, same thing. Again, basically what I'm trying to get at the point is that's all I really want to short, because I was able to short this range, not perfectly. Again, I really do wish I got it here, up here at 620. This was my ideal range, right here, from 600 to 620. But again, I average in, and I started my short right here, and then I shorted more here, and then I shorted more here, because it's just weaker and weaker. There's really no rally, and it just looks like a constant sell-off. Like, it's just dropping. And I don't see why you would be buying. Maybe a bounce to 590, we'll see. So we'll see. But right now, on the hourly, Bitcoin is looking like it's going to break lower. It's already breaking lower below this trend line. And we'll go to the BFX data, which is, the book. And you can see the sells in the last hour were 319 Bitcoin to 102 buys. 10 million sells compared to 7 billion buys. And I'll share this little link with you guys so you can use this as for yourself. All you need to really look at is not this Fugazi. Just look at how many people are selling. 10 million people sold, 7 million, or 10,000 people sold, 7,000 people bought. Or that's how many Bitcoins were bought, not technically people. So what does that tell you? That 3,000 Bitcoin were sold more than bought. Do the math. That's not good news for longs, and it looks like we're going to continue lower. So, even the daily candle is literally going lower and lower. So it's great for shorts. right now. Even these buys can't hold it. I mean, we've got a ton. Like, look at this. You can see right here. We got huge orders here holding it down, and we're dropping fairly quick here. So same thing on Ethereum. We can even look at that, and we can see the same thing. So Ethereum US dollar. Ethereum's obviously direct reflection of Bitcoin. Ethereum 94,000 sells, 66,000 buys. So you can see Ethereum definitely a lot more sellers than buyers, and a lot more bearish because of the rally it had. And you can see that, you know, it's just falling. I really don't see it bouncing. I could honestly just see Ethereum honestly just straight dying like it did here, because it rallied, and I could just see it dying more. Yeah, and buy XRP, yeah, wait for it to bounce though. But you can see people are still selling their Ethereum. They just don't want it. So that's really it for cryptocurrency. I hope that kind of explains everything. We're going to continue lower until we get a bounce. I don't see a bounce till 6,500 or 5,000 or 6. So look for 7,000 to bounce or 6,500 to bounce, and then 6,000, then 5,000, you know, round numbers. So that's cryptocurrency. Let's get into stocks. I know this has been a long live stream. I'll talk stocks real quick. So again, I'm long on Cron. I was actually contemplating closing my position, but it closed. It's holding up here pretty well. I don't know why my mouse is just disappearing. Here we go. So Cron's a marijuana company that I like. We'll maximize this sell. And on this chart right here, it's holding really well. You know, and it's doing really good business here. So you can see higher lows. You know, pulled back here, and it's still holding around $7, showing strength on the 4-hour and on the hourly as well. I would like for it to continue pushing. If it kind of gets bearish here, I'm not going to like it, so we'll see how it closes. If it closes here pretty well, I'm going to love it. If it doesn't, then I'll probably sell it. I'm break even right now, so we'll see about Cron. I'm long on the app Snapchat, you know, the app Snapchat, which is a great company. Not a great company, but, you know, it's been selling off as of late, ever since their IPO, you know, but every time you see these gaps in the chart, see here, it always fills them. And those are great buys. They're always great buys. Gap here, filled. Gap here, filled. Gap here, filled down. And then gap here, what are we going to get? Filled up. So that probabilities are in your favor. If every time it's filled 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to probably fill a 5th gap. I mean, it's just easy to predict, and you can see that even if you bought it here at $10.50, you had to wait a bit, and then you gained $2 a share in a relatively short amount of time. I bought it here around $11.98, $11.96. I bought it right here and got burnt out. I still held, and then I'm rewarded with good profit here, so that's great. I'm still holding Snapchat. I'm actually long on HMIX as well. I got long up here into 825. I just like buying sometimes to break out and getting it over with. You know, obviously it could save 20 cents, but again, I'm only trading very small with my Robinhood account, about 4 or 5 shares in this company. I like it. It's a semiconductor company. Semiconductors are pretty hot. You know, that's what they're used in computers, and it's based out of Taiwan. No, I'm shorting with Bitcoin. I mean, JFX, jfx.com. Okay, so you can see here, it's holding pretty well. HMIX doing well with AMD, you know, having a strong day here, you know, almost reaching $15 a share, and MU as well, you know, not too bad of a day here as well. So that's what I'm long on. I'm long on Cron. I got to see how it holds up here. I'm long on Snapchat. I'm more comfortable with my Snapchat play. Cron, I'm kind of hesitant, but I'm break even now, and HMIX I'm pretty comfortable with because I really love this weekly chart. It just has to continue. It has to continue, because if it doesn't, then I close. But if it does, I continue to hold. It does pay a dividend, so that's pretty nice. And you know, earnings are positive. So we'll see what happens. They're a semiconductor company. But that's really it for my stock plays. Again, you know, crypto is doing pretty well here for the shorts. You can see, you know, we're holding this, you know, 74.68 level, but we're continuing to break down lower. Obviously, just selling. Ethereum back down to 580, you know, held 620 for like less than a day, and then breaks down. So we'll see if we get a little bounce. If we do, I'll probably add in it. If we don't, then we don't. I have, you know, that ad, and I have over 7 tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 tokens. So I'm already up $112. We drop another $100. I'm up another 700, so about 800. And I think it'll be a good place to short. But we'll see. We might get a bounce here, or we just might, get something like this, very similar to this fizzle area, where we try to retest like maybe 590, which I could definitely see. It's gonna try to retest 590 and then break down, or we just straight free fall. So we'll see. That's really it, guys. This was a long stream. I think we're running on an hour here. Yep, just over an hour. Thank you for joining us. 23 viewers. It's a new record for the past few weeks. So thank you for joining. If you're new, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. I do these analysis at least a few times a week, usually daily on a weekly basis. So let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe, turn on notifications, and enjoy your shorts if you're shorting. If you're long, maybe just reflect back on your decision. Anyway, guys, have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next stream. Peace out.